Mike.
Hello, Mr. Andrews. Securities from Mortimer and Day.
Then I can open my account today with you, Mr. Conrad. I brought along my certified check for $150,000.
We'll take as good care of your funds as we do of our own, Mr. Kegley. Yes?
The bonds from Mortimer and Day are here, Mr. Conrad.
I'll tell Mr. Andrews to check them and put them in the vault. Now, there are some fine investments for you, Mr. Kegley. Utilities.
Fine. Exactly what I was looking for. Nothing speculated for me. No common stocks.
Well, some common shares are perfectly sound, with potential big profits. Now, take the airplane companies, for example.
Airplanes?
Thanks to the situation in Europe, certain manufacturers of war materials are showing greater gains every day, and...
Mr. Conrad, I'm a pacifist. I don't propose $1 of my hard-earned money goes to those dealers in debt, the men who make munitions.
Well, now, really, Mr. Kegley, I was only...
I won't have it. I won't have it. Not one penny of mine goes to those wholesale murderers. And you, how dare a reputable firm like you suggest that... Mr. Kegley. Mr. Kegley.
Move along, folks, please. Stand back. Give them room. Keep away from that door, please.
Keep everybody out of the building, will you, Chief?
Sure will, Doc. All right, move along. Break it up, please. All right, stand back. Step aside there.
It looks like it's happening.
All right, stand back. Stand back. Give them room. Please step back. All right, move along.
Okay.
Sure, get up.
There you are, boss. $500,000 negotiable bonds.
Smart work, boys. Did I have it doped out or didn't I?
You bet they were delivered just as you said. And then did I put on an act? Oh, you should have seen me. Oh, Mr. Conrad, how dare you distribute my money to those men who make munitions?
And how'd you like me as a physician? I'm going to give up this record and get a job in the movies.
You nearly crabbed the whole thing. What's the idea of stopping the chin with that telephone girl on the way out?
You never know when you're going to need a good number.
All right, save the comedy. We got to get rid of this bus before the cops get wise to it. Hey, next block, turn over the East River and make it snappy, will you?
Hey, Nick, how about a little celebration down at Spike's?
Nothing doing. All that small-time racket stuff is out. Now, the faster you guys forget your old habits and your old mobs, the better.
Oh, but are we ever going to have any fun again? With dames and everything?
Sure we are, but in the right places. Hang around the Tony joints where the swell people go. Do what I do. Find out where the real dough is.
Hey, Nick, the speed cop.
Hey, say, a bit stupid. What do you think I got this ambulance for? Now, here's the dope. You get rid of this fuss in the alley. You fellas get rid of those clothes and scatter and stay out of sight till this thing blows over.
I've been at Wall Street for 20 years. That's the cleverest robbery I ever heard of.
Really? I never read crime news. Stock market reports interest me more.
Well, it's nice to see you, Mr. Sheldon.
Glad to see you.
If you'll drop in the office sometime this week, I'll let you in on something better than the market. Foreign exchange.
Thanks. I'll come down the first day I get off.
Fine.
Good night. Sorry.
So I told him he could take his old mink coat and... Well, what do you know? There's an old flame of mine I haven't seen for ages. Al? Excuse me, darling.
Ask him if he's got a friend.
Well, if it isn't my old friend Al Shaw. Where you been, honey lamb?
Beg your pardon?
Hey, don't try to give Betty Mason the brush off. I'd know Al Shaw in the dark.
Sorry, the name's Nicholas Shelton.
Well, it was Al Shaw in Atlantic City last year.
Never been to Atlantic City.
Say, what's the big idea? This is a swell way to treat an old girlfriend.
Soft pedal on the voice and get this. Al Shaw's washed up, finished. The name is now Nick Shelton. I live on Park Avenue. I got a business in Wall Street, and I'm through with rackets.
On the level?
Yes. If you ever blow off about me again, I'll pin your ears back.
Well, that sounds more like your old self. How's to buy me a drink?
A couple of old fashions. And a champagne cocktail for me.
I must say.
Oh, I'm so sorry, madame. I beg your pardon. Is this place taken?
Of course not. How could it be when it's empty? Do sit down. Tell me, your face is so familiar. Don't I know you?
I do not believe so, madame. I've been in Oslo for the last 5 years.
Oslo? Oslo? No, it couldn't have been Oslo. I've never been to Italy.
Maybe it's my hair you don't like. Remember, it was blonde before.
Yeah, before the armistice.
I don't have to take that from you.
And do me a favor and beat it. I can't afford to be seen with you.
Is there something wrong, madam?
Yes. There's a rat at the table.
I will, I won't. I will, I won't. I will, I won't. Well, I won't, I will, I won't, I will. 1 Alphon, please.
Excuse me. Would you please light my cigarette?
Oh, will I? But definitely. I mean, definitely delighted. There. Lighted and delighted. You're lighted, I'm delighted. How about it, Duchess? Or should I say, Princess?
Hear that, Joseph? A real princess. Oh, I must remember where I saw her. It couldn't have been South Africa, could it? No, that's where I saw the lion.
How about another little hooper-duper? Never bought a drink for a beautiful princess before. Gotta begin sometime.
How dare you speak to me like that?
Well, all I said was, buy a drink. I mean, there's no crime in that.
You Americans think you can insult every woman you meet.
No. You ask a lid, and I says I'll buy you a hooper-duper, and you got sore, and you hit.
Are you the manager? Have this young man put out, please. He's been annoying me ever since I arrived.
I'm not the manager, but maybe I can help. Why don't you run along home, Sonny?
Why don't you mind your own business? This is between me and the princess, or whatever she is.
I wouldn't start a fuss, pal. Come on.
Oh, tough guy, huh? You want to get hurt.
Gentlemen, please. What's What's the disturbance here? Oh, Mr. Shelton, what's happened?
Nothing much, Eduardo. The kid lost control of himself and insulted this lady. My mistake.
Well, everything is absolutely all right. Please go back to your tables. Tell the orchestra to play. Yes? Emil, give me a hand.
Monsieur, I want to thank you so much. And apologize for causing you all that trouble.
No trouble at all. Pleasure.
One more favor, please. Would you mind showing me to a taxi?
I'll do much better than that. What?
Oh, Joseph, dear, pick up my flowers like a good boy. That's it. Thank you. Now, Joseph, I can forgive you borrowing a few dollars from my purse now and then, but my best ball pin? Why, Joseph, how could you?
I swear, my pet, I've taken nothing.
Well, somebody has. I've been robbed. I've been robbed. Eduardo, my ball pin has been gone. It's been stolen. I've been robbed.
No. What's the rumpus now, Gwen?
Oh, some old dame just lost her diamond brooch. She'll get out for an hour and then go out and collect the insurance.
Shall we go?
I won't forget your kindness to a perfect stranger.
That's the word, perfect. Oh, you didn't have a date, did you?
A date?
Yes, boyfriend, sweetheart, husband.
Oh, no, monsieur. I'm quite alone.
You mean you were alone?
Ixnay, boss, Ixnay. Don't tangle with these Park Avenue mamas. They'll cross you every time.
Get in that car and drive to my apartment.
I tell you, boss, these society dames are bad potatoes. Kick her out and we'll dig up a couple of waitresses.
Glad you came?
I've never enjoyed myself so much. So often chance acquaintances turn out to be dull and stupid. But
But what?
This is charming.
You like me?
Yes.
I don't have to tell you what I think of you.
Please, you misunderstand. I meant, you've been so very kind. Made me forget all my little troubles.
Let's stop pulling our punches and say what we really mean. What's your name?
Why bother with names? We've enjoyed ourselves so much without them. Besides, after tonight, we'll never see each other again. So let's not be serious.
No, I'm not letting you go. Yes?
Listen, boss. You told me to wait. Said I might have to drive the dame home.
Wait.
Now, honest, boss. You never had so much trouble making up your mind. Do I or don't I?
You heard what I said. Wait. All my life, I've been on my own. I never had much use for the ladies, never trusted them. But you're different. You do things to me. I like the way you look, the way you talk, the way you handle yourself. You're tough like me. You've got what it takes. You're something I need.
Please. Tomorrow the Normandies take me back to Europe.
You're sailing tomorrow?
Yes,
On the Normandy?
that's right. So don't you see?
I see, all right. Just a polite way of brushing me off. Well, you certainly put on a good act tonight, sister.
Act?
You got me. The Normandy doesn't sail tomorrow, and even if it did, you wouldn't be on it.
Now you're being very rude.
Think of me falling for a cheap trick as old as that one. All that trouble, all those lies, and for what? A cheap piece of junk.
Drop that on the table. I said drop it on the table.
You did a neat job tonight, using me as a front to cover up your getaway. As opposed to the cops that chased us, you'd have planted the rocks on me.
Give that to me.
In this man's town, they'd burn you for murder. Put that thing away and let's talk business.
Business?
Yeah, sit down. Who do you think I am?
You said you were an investment broker.
A lot of people think the same thing.
I don't understand.
You're a smart girl. But tonight you risked a 20-year stretch, and for what? Coffee and donuts.
One must live.
Not like a pickpocket. I went into that bar for the same thing you did. To look around a bit. But I looked for the big dough.
You mean you are?
Yeah, on a slightly larger scale.
So each of us is fooling the other. What a joke.
Yeah, you fooled me completely. Now, what's your real name?
Stephanie Duval.
Police record?
In Europe, prison. Here I've been lucky. Only one arrest on vagrancy.
How'd you like to work for me? As a business partner, I mean.
Sounds very interesting, Monsieur Shelton.
Well, drop monsieur stuff. Just call me Nick.
I like that.
Say, for weeks I've had a perfect setup in mind. All it needed was you.
Yes?
But before I tell you, let me warn you. Play straight with me, or... Well, I got a little way of taking care of people who don't.
What? No fooling. What do you know about that? I gotta drive the dame home. I guess the boss must be slipping.
Oh, madame. I am speechless. Oh, she is divine. Am I not right, gentlemen? She is wonderful.
Wonderful is right.
I shouldn't have put it on, Nick. It only complicates matters. Now I don't know which one to choose.
You are quite right, madame. They are all too beautiful. Oh, how can anyone be so clever as I am? Am I not a genius?
$2,000 for all this junk? You ain't a genius. You're a magician.
Anybody who doesn't fall for you in that outfit is just plain nuts.
It is wonderful, isn't it?
Like it?
It's too beautiful for words.
Any complaints about the way I treat my business associates?
You've been more than generous. But terribly extravagant. After all, my own clothes will do just as well.
Now, you let me worry about that. We'll charge it to overhead. Necessary expense to the running of our business. Besides, if it pleases me, why should you complain?
I'll answer it. Yes? Just a moment. For you, Nick.
Thanks. Hello? Yes. I'll come right over.
What is it, Nick?
Something's happened to change my plans. Get out of those clothes and come over to the apartment as soon as you can. Come on, come and get moving.
Au revoir, monsieur. Au revoir, and thank monsieur for his excellent judgment. Adieu. Adieu.
You got a swell racket, Frenchie. Wait till the mob hears about this.
Mob.
This is perfect. We're finally getting some action on those bonds.
About time.
How much is the payoff?
He doesn't say. That must be Stephanie.
Oh, say, boss, you ain't gonna let that dame in on this.
Why not?
You don't know a thing about her, Nick. You'd be plain sap to give her the lowdown.
You said it. We have too much at stake.
Now get this, all of you. From now on, Stephanie's one of us. In on everything and getting her split.
How do you know she won't cross us?
I checked the record at police headquarters. I tell you, she's on the level. Will you sit down?
May I come in?
Yes, of course. You know the boys, don't you?
Yes, indeed.
How do you do?
Hi. Okay. Now, here's how we swing the deal. You and Lou pick up the bonds and take them to Seattle as fast as you can get there.
Seattle? The telegram says Denver. It says right here, D-E-N-V.
Do you take me for a dummy? How do I know the deal's on the level? I'm not walking into any police traps. Now, Stephanie and I'll go to Denver and check the buyer angle. If the setup is okay, we'll take the Denver man to Seattle and wind up the deal there.
That's playing safe, Nick.
Right. If there's any trouble, we'll duck over the Canadian border.
Well, how do we travel?
Well, charter Mike's plane. Here. Here's some traveling money. Now, when you get to Seattle, grab a room at the Europa Hotel and sit tight with the bonds till you hear from me. Now, hop to it. Oh, and one more thing. If I get into a jam in Denver and you don't hear from me within a week, take the bonds up to our old hideout in Canada.
All right, come on, Lou.
Good luck, Nick.
Now we got to step on it. Denver's a long way. Come on, Herman, we'll get out of these trick clothes.
But Nick, I can't go on a trip like this. I haven't any clothes with me.
Well, I'll get you some in Denver.
But look at my hair.
Well, what's the matter with it?
It was dressed to go with the evening clothes I was trying on. It doesn't look right with this outfit.
$500,000 on the fire. And this dame is worried about a haircut.
Nick, you don't want me to look conspicuous, do you? People would notice me.
All right. There's a beauty parlor downstairs off the lobby. Meet us at the New York airport in an hour. Herman and I will go ahead and check the plane.
I won't be long. I'll be there.
Don't say it.
Can't stop me from thinking. Listen, up to now I thought you was a pretty smart fella.
Ah, button up your lip.
Beauty parlor. That's a fish story if I ever heard one.
Yeah? That's what you think.
I'm sorry. The line is still busy.
Very well, thank you.
Say, what have you got against Stephanie anyway?
No dame belongs in a racket like ours.
She's the smartest little trick we've got.
Yeah? Any guy that ever got mixed up with a dame ends up in a barrel. Oh, look what Cleopatra did, that Napoleon guy, and he had a bigger mob than we have.
Yeah, but this is different. We need her.
Yeah, different in my foot. I knew it. Look, boss. I knew she was up to something.
I'll meet you at the airport.
Dames. They're all criminals.
Taxi?
Where'd the dame go who just took that cab?
I thought I heard her say the Whitney apartment.
Well, get me there. Never mind the speed laws.
Yes, sir.
You can go right up.
Thank you.
Stephanie.
I must see you, Fitz.
But you shouldn't have come here. It's too risky.
I had to. I've located the bonds.
Good. Come into the study. Where are the bonds?
2 of Shelton's men are taking them to Seattle. They've already left by plane.
Well, where's Shelton?
In his apartment. I'm to meet him at the airport in an hour. We're flying to Denver to meet a buyer.
Sit down, please.
I'm sorry to trouble you, but I've forgotten the number of the apartment where I was to meet my wife. She came in a moment ago.
The lady in the tailored suit with the fur trimming?
Yes, that's right.
She went up to apartment 3B, sir.
3B?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Have you returned the brooch to its owner?
Yes, and she couldn't understand why she didn't have to pay a reward. Now, have you any reason to believe that Shelton doesn't trust you completely?
None whatever. But it's becoming increasingly difficult to play my part, Fitz. You see, he's in love with me.
Well, I take it you don't return his affection.
I loathe the man.
We must work fast. Now, you stay with Shelton. I'll fly to Seattle and try to recover the bonds before he arrives. Do you know where his men are staying?
Yes, the Europa Hotel.
Good. I'll be there. Now, whatever you do, don't go into the hotel with him. He might put up an argument. Do you understand?
Perfectly, Fitz. And that's what troubles me. If anything happened to you, I'd find it difficult to explain my association with Shelton. You're the only one who knows why I'm in this country.
I've provided for such an emergency, Stephanie. I've attached your passport photograph to a letter of identification which explains everything. It'll remain right here in my files. Now, we must hurry. You'd better get to the airport before Shelton misses you. Shelton. It's quite a surprise to see you here. I'm glad you found time to drop in. Decided to go in for a little foreign exchange?
Hey, mister.
What is it, Sonny?
What is that for?
That's a parachute to protect me in case I fall out.
What ain't the fly in your head?
I never thought of that.
Brennan. All right, Sonny, run along. Beat it, I said.
You must have been eating tiger meat.
Stephanie here yet?
No, did you follow her?
I followed her. You had the right dope, Brennan. She's a cop, a dick. Been trailing us to get the bonds.
What did I tell you? I knew she was a wrong date from the first. Boy, did you fall for her like a ton of bricks.
Shut up.
Okay. But come on, let's get out of here before that dame shows up at the riot squad.
You gotta wait for her. She's going with us.
Oh, say, Nick, have you gone screwy? We can't take that female dick with us. It just ain't being done.
We gotta take her, I tell you. She knows our whole setup. We can't stop Kegley and Lowry, and we can't leave her behind to tip off the cops.
How do you know she ain't tipped them off already?
Now, I've been following her. She hasn't talked yet, and what's more, she's not going to.
Say, boss, I got a great idea. We'll get her over a nice big mountain, and then boom, out she goes.
Maybe.
Great. I'll push the old crate up to 10,000 feet and give you the high side.
Quiet. Here's Stephanie. Try to act like you don't know anything. That shouldn't be hard for you.
You said it.
Well, here I am. Hope I didn't keep you waiting.
You get your hair fixed?
Yes. Doesn't it look better?
It looks just the same to me.
People men are all alike. A woman can spend hours in a beauty shop and you never notice the difference.
All set?
All set, boss.
Okay, let's go.
Mind if I make myself comfortable?
Suit yourself.
What's the matter with you, Nick? Angry with me?
Skip it.
You're acting so strange.
I was just talking to the boys, that's all. You
caught up with Mike Ferretti. They gave him the works.
I don't see why they should disturb you.
Because he ratted on his pals. Makes my blood boil every time I hear of some mug pulling a double cross.
I don't blame you, Nick. I feel the same way.
Huh. That's a hot one. Coming from a copper.
Copper? You're being ridiculous. You've been drinking.
Stop acting, sister. You know what I mean.
What makes you think I'm a copper?
Because I followed you to Fitzgerald's office. The beauty parlor gag was a little too obvious for even me to fall for. Up until then, I admit you had me going.
Now that you know who I am, what are you going to do about it?
If I gave you what was coming to you, I'd twist that pretty neck of yours and throw you out of the plane.
Well, why don't you?
I'm wondering the same thing.
It's up to 10,000 feet, boss. Got here quicker than I thought.
Mind your own business. I'm handling this thing.
Okay. Just as I figured. Ain't you gonna take a stretch, boss?
We'll wait here. While you're taking on gas, bring us a bag of sandwiches.
Okay. Fill it up.
Aren't you afraid I'll call for help?
I wouldn't start a fuss if I were you.
I suppose I should just sit here and wait until you decide what to do with me.
That'd be the smart thing to do.
Give me a turkey sandwich and 4 hamburgers to take out.
4 hamburgers coming up.
Can I borrow this? Thanks. You want all the trimmings?
I want my paper.
Hey, boss, come here, quick.
What do you want?
Boy, have I got a knifeful for you. Now brace yourself for a joke and take a gander at that.
Pay for the gas. Let's get going.
Hey, buddy, how much do I owe you?
Any idea where we are?
Over Colorado. Got to spot Denver in another hour, so you better step on it. Listen, Nick, you've gone chicken-hearted. Get busy, you'll find yourself a spot with the gang.
I didn't ask for your advice.
Here, you handle a stick. I'll take care of it.
You stay where you are. Listen, Stephanie, you're in the spot. This is your last chance. I'm crazy about you, you know that. I'm a sucker to risk it, but say the word and I'll ditch the gang. We'll pick up the bonds and head for Canada.
They wouldn't let you get away with it, Nick. You know that. Besides, I won't do it.
You know what your answer means, don't you?
You wouldn't be so foolish, Nick. He once reminded me that it was only a jail stretch for robbery, but they'd burn you for murder.
Maybe I could keep my hands clean. Maybe I could let your friends, the coppers, do the job for me.
What are you driving at?
Read that.
It isn't true. Not a word of it. You know I didn't do it.
I saw you go into Fitzgerald's office. You might have told me it's bad business killing cops.
But I can prove I was working for Fitzgerald. There's a letter in his office.
There was a letter.
Then it was you. You killed Fitzgerald.
Papers say you did it. They didn't find my picture there. You know you're into a rap if they catch you. Your only chance is this letter. Now, do you want to stick with me or do I turn you loose for the cops to grab? What's the matter, Hyman?
I don't know. Looks like the gas line's clogged.
What are you going to do?
Fasten your safety belts. I'll set her down as easy as I can.
fix that critter. I'll hog-tie the ornery cuss. Handle plenty of bad ones in the time and ain't allowing no wall-eyed galoot to get the better of me.
Well, good morning. I was hoping you'd be ready for a bit of breakfast. There you are.
Who are you?
Well, fortunately for you and humanity at large, I'm a doctor.
The plane fell, that's all I remember.
And lucky for you, you were thrown clear of the wreckage. Your plane burned.
Oh. Were the others?
We found you and 2 men. Was there anyone else in the plane?
No. Where are they?
In the other room. They're still unconscious, but resting comfortably. There you are. And as far as I can determine, your injuries are purely superficial. So I see no reason why you shouldn't enjoy a perfectly good breakfast. Strictly home cooking. Although you might find a halter strap or an old spur in that omelet. Oates is rather careless with the cooking.
Oates?
He's just a nice old chap that knows every trail in these mountains here.
Lay still, you longhorn. You're going to hold still, I tell you. Hey, Doc! Doc!
I'm afraid Oates is having a little trouble. You'll excuse me.
Hey, Doc! Doc! Doggone you, hold still, I tell you. Lay still. Fasten your safety belts. I'll set her down as easy as I can. All the mean critters I ever handled. Hey, Doc, give me a hand. Bulldog this fella before he pitched me out in the corral. Can't ride so good without my saddles no more. Hold on, everybody. We're gonna crash. Hey, what's happened? Where am I? I knew you couldn't throw me and didn't even pull leather either.
All right, Oates, we can get off now. You've been delirious.
Hey, what's going on here? Who are you? And who's that monkey who was sitting on my chest?
You've been in an accident and we're trying to take care of you.
Oh, I'm all right. Get away from me. Hey, where's Nick? Hey, Nick! Nick!
Quiet, Herman. Keep your mouth shut.
Hello there. No, don't try to get up. You've got a couple of cracked ribs and a very bad ankle. Torn ligaments.
Where's the girl?
In bed and resting comfortably.
She all right?
Oh, I think so. She suffered a bad shock and a few bruises, but nothing serious. You were all pretty lucky to get off as easily as you did.
Say, he don't look so ornery, Doc. Do you think you can handle him alone?
Oh, I think so, Oat. And you rustle up some breakfast for these men.
For him?
Sure.
Well, now, that changes things considerable. Because I won't figure on washing no dishes today on account of having them 2 clean plates left over from yesterday.
Hurry along, and while you're about it, get me a pan of hot water.
How hot?
Oh, pretty hot.
Awful hot?
Well, what's the difference?
Well, it takes longer to make it awful hot than it does pretty hot.
Oat has his own system of keeping house. He doesn't believe in washing dishes until it's absolutely necessary.
Where's my clothes? All my stuff?
Your clothes are in the bedroom. You'll find your personal effects on the table there.
Hey, you! Hey, come here!
Excuse me, your friend's getting violent again. All right, I know, but take it easy and you'll get your breakfast.
Hey.
Yeah?
I got some important business to attend to. Where's your telephone?
Sorry, we haven't got a phone. That's one of the things I come here to get away from.
Well, how far's the nearest town?
15 miles by horseback, 25 by car. Of course, if it's really important, I could send Otis.
No, never mind. Let it wait.
Uh-huh.
You a doctor?
Uh-huh.
Well, how long will I be laid up here?
Well, judging from surface conditions, I should say a week or 10 days.
Oh, you got to do better than that. I got an appointment in Denver that means a lot to me.
Well, you keep quiet and we'll watch developments.
Brennan!
What is it, boss?
Come here. Listen at that door and see if Stephanie spills anything to the dock.
So, you're Mr. Shelton's secretary. I thought at first that he might have been working for you, sort of a bodyguard.
What makes you think that?
Well, a man doesn't usually travel so heavily armed unless there's a reason.
Oh, Mr. Shelton's business takes him to all sorts of out-of-the-way places.
Oh, I see.
He carries a gun for his own protection.
Oh,
And now, please, I'd like to know something about Dr. Scott Logan.
well, that's a most uninteresting story. I'm just a tired city dweller out here on a vacation.
and we spoiled it.
On the contrary, you're a most welcome relief. After breathing chloroform and ether for 10 years, I'm suffering from an overdose of fresh air. I needed you and a set of cracked ribs to break the monotony.
She's coming up swell, boss. I think he's making a play for her.
Better stick to his medicine if he knows what's good for him. Get out of sight. Keep your gun ready.
Hello. Anybody home? Oh, excuse me.
What do you want?
I was looking for Doc Logan.
Oh, hello, Kent.
Hi, Doc.
What brings you way over in these parts?
Well, I'm sorry to disturb you, but the boys in Humpback Tower reported a fire last night. They said it was someplace around here.
Oh, yes. A plane cracked up in the meadows and went up in flames, but Oat and I managed to get it under control.
Anybody hurt?
This gentleman and his 2 companions had a very narrow escape, but I believe they're going to be all right.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I'll be running along. Just thought I'd check up.
Fine. Drop in again anytime, and if you need an official excuse, I'll set fire to the shack.
All right, Doc. So long.
Goodbye, what?
Here's your water, Doc.
That's fine, Oat. Now wash the dishes and get this gentleman his breakfast.
Say, you sure you feel well enough to eat?
Yeah, sure. I feel pretty good.
How good?
Now, listen, you.
Well, running a boarding house and picking people up off in mountains and a hospital for broken down aviators.
Who was it?
Just a ranger friend of mine.
Ranger?
Yes, you know, a uniformed gentleman with a badge who has the right to arrest people for starting fires in the middle of the forest. I covered you very nicely. So you see, the safest place for you is right here in old Doc Logan's cabin.
In that case, I shall be only too happy to remain.
Stick 'em up, Mug. Just like I told you, Casper. You mind what I told you last spring, that time you run away and was gone 2 days? When you get mixed up with women, you either get shot at or you don't.
Now let's have it out, Oat. Why don't you like me?
Oh, I ain't got nothing against you in particular, miss. It's just, well, it's all women. Women in general, they just upset a man's method of doing things.
How's that for a fire, boss? I like that from a campfire girl. Did you see what I saw, boss? That guy ought to have that forest ranger's job.
That's that swell performance you're giving. If I didn't know better, I might fall for that domestic stuff myself.
I don't care what you think. I'm not doing this for your benefit.
That's the first honest thing you've said. I know who you're making a play for, but get this. I don't like it. You stay away from him.
I have not been making a play for him, as you say. But he is attractive, don't you think so?
One more crack out of you like that, and so help me out.
Ixnay, boss. Ixnay.
Hello there. Sorry if I'm late, but wait till you see what I've got here. Oh, Stephanie, don't you wish you'd come with me now?
Oh, they're lovely, Scott.
And right in the same pool where you caught their granddaddy yesterday. Where's Oat?
You'll probably find him in the barn.
Why?
He doesn't like the way I've cleaned up his kitchen.
Oh, you didn't really. He won't rest until he's got that place looking like a pigsty again. Excuse me a minute, will you?
Stephanie now, eh? And you've been going out alone with him when I warned you not to.
Please, there's no need to make a scene. He's been kind to me, to all of us. The least I could do was to show him ordinary courtesy. I don't suppose you'd understand what that means.
Herman.
Yeah, boss.
Watch her. From now on, don't let her out of your sight.
I get you.
Doggone thing's gone haywire again.
I'm afraid something's gone wrong, Oak.
You just wait a minute now. I'll give you some real music.
Say, Oak, I think that's just about enough for tonight. And if you don't get on into the store, our guests here are not going to get any breakfast.
Sure takes a heap of grub to run a hospital.
Now, won't you sing for me? You know the one I like.
You mean,
Fliegen des Gesanges, Herzliebchen trag ich dich fort, fort nach den Fluren des Ganges, dort weiß ich den schönsten Ort. Dort liegt ein rotblühender Garten im stillen Mondenschein. Die Lotusblumen erwarten.
I thought you liked that song, Stephanie.
Oh, I do. Please don't misunderstand.
As a matter of fact, I don't understand at all. Something in your eyes, the way you looked when you left that room. What's wrong, Stephanie?
Don't ask me to explain. I can't. I guess it's just a foolish attack of nerves. I've been in the house all day.
Well, in that case, Dr. Logan prescribes a walk. Come along.
But I can't, really.
Nonsense. Don't I know what's best for my patient? Huh? Watch it there. That's it. A little cruise in my private yacht. You'll feel better.
Whatever you say, Doctor.
There we are. My own little sanctuary, this lake. When Oates' conversation grows too trifling, I run down here and catch hold of myself. Very understanding, I found the trees and water. They listen to what one has to say. So if you care to talk...
Dad?
A very large fish that has evidently lost his way home. Now, confessions are not only good for the soul, Stephanie. They also let a friend know just where he stands. Before you walk or swim out of my life, I want to know where I stand. It might simplify matters to explain that I love you.
I've given you no reason. Are you sure it isn't just the moon and the water and the boat?
Quite sure. As for why I love you, well, who's ever able to answer that question? Maybe it's because you're so healthily different from any of the women Dr. Logan usually meets. Or maybe it's because you're quite the loveliest person Scott Logan ever has met.
Please, Doctor.
Nevertheless, I've had a feeling that a kind providence arranged that airplane accident in my backyard. You know what I mean, Stephanie?
But I don't want to hear you say it. I'm in trouble, Scott. Serious trouble. Believe me, I wish I could tell you. I need someone who understands. Someone I can trust.
You can trust me.
What would you say if I told you that I'm wanted by the police for murdering a man?
I said I loved you. That still goes. Now let's have it.
Well, what happened? Why aren't you watching them?
It ain't my fault, boss. Delayed trap. 4 guys grabbed the boat, and I found myself at the bottom of the lake.
Why, you stupid lunkhead. What if she falls for a soft line and spills a story? Where'll that put us, you nitwit? We're getting out of here tonight.
But, boss, your foot.
I can travel if I've got her. Now get this. When the old man comes back with the car, we grab it and strike out for Canada.
But are we going to meet the boys in Seattle?
They're in Canada by this time with the bars. Now hurry up and change your clothes.
Swell. We leave that hoodoo here.
Yeah, she goes with us.
Oh, but Nick...
Now don't give me an argument. Now get going. And bring me my shoes.
But isn't there anyone in Europe who could identify you?
I doubt it. Most of my time has been spent in espionage work, which even my employers would deny. Governments won't admit they employ spies.
Then your only chance is to face the music and fight to clear yourself. There must be some way of breaking Shelton down. After all, you say he loves you.
Not the kind of love you'd understand. I can't appeal to a man's sense of honor if he hasn't any.
No.
What are you going to do? It would be foolish to face Shelton now.
No, I'm not. I'm going to put you ashore. You go right back to the cabin and don't let on you've told me anything. I'll take Oates' car and go into town.
You're going to call the police?
No, not yet. I'm going to phone my New York attorney and have him start action at that end. We'll try and keep Shelton here until I hear from him. Make any excuse you need to cover me.
Where's the doc?
Went to look after his horses. Why are you standing on that ankle? You know what Dr. Logan said.
I don't care what he said. We're getting out of here.
Going? But where? We're safe here.
You want to stay, don't you? You like the doc's company, isn't that it? Well, why don't you say it? Say, what do you take me for? Do you think I've been sitting around here for a week watching you play up to him without knowing what was going on? Now listen to me, Stephanie. You stick with me and I'll see you through this. Why, if the doc knew you were wanted for a murder rap, he'd throw you over like a hot potato.
That isn't true. He knows I...
Oh, so you told him.
Yes, and he's going to help me. I'm going to stay right here and take a chance on clearing myself.
You won't do it with his help, Stephanie. I'm not leaving him here to spill his story to the cops. Now get your things and be quick about it.
What's going on here? Oh, I say, Shelton, you shouldn't be on that ankle.
There we are, Doc. And cut the storm. Stephanie's going with us. Go on, tell the nice doctor you changed your mind about needing his help.
It isn't true, Scott. I'm not going. I won't.
Never believe what a dame tells you, Doc. She'll make a sucker out of you every time.
Well, you should know, Shelton, you're giving a pretty fair imitation of a man who's lost his head over a woman. If you were smart, you'd clear out and leave Stephanie here. After all, she's wanted for murder, not you.
When Stephanie and I leave this place, we'll both be facing a murder rap. Now get moving. You and I are going for a walk. Go on, get moving.
Wait. I'll go with you, Nick, providing you leave Dr. Logan alone.
Don't promise anything, Stephanie.
I know him better than you do, Scott. He'll kill you. It's the only way you'll get me to go with you. Otherwise, I'll fight you every step. I'll call the first police we meet.
And leave him here to turn me in? You're crazy.
He'll give his word to stay here. I'll give it for him.
All right. Go get your things. It's okay. Take it easy.
Thanks for everything.
You know where to reach me?
You ain't gonna let him off, are you, Nick?
What do you think? Does the old man know?
Drive the car 100 yards up the road and wait for them. Take the old bird with you.
I get you. Come on, baby. Your car's waiting.
Aren't you coming?
Yeah, I got a couple of things to tell the doc.
Well, what's on your mind?
Too bad you had a fall for the lady, Doc. It's the wrong thing for a right guy to do.
I gather you're rather subtly inferring that I might be a pretty decent sort if I hadn't taken a liking to Mr. Val.
Yeah, something like that. Only not in those words. See, I don't like guys who cut in on my time.
Hold that gun high, Shelton.
It was me that seen the pictures in the paper, and without respects, too.
Hey, what's the big idea? You got nothing on me. She's the one you're looking for.
We're looking for both of you.
Well, Doc, I guess you and me can get back to normal living. Say, Doc.
Huh?
Ain't that a high one?
Please hurry. We haven't any time to lose.
Oh. See no sense in hurrying. Get her out of this scrape, you just get back and mess my kitchen up again after I get it fixed the way I like it.
Shame on you. The girl's life's at stake.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of women in this world, but they ain't but darn few kitchens without one in it.
You all right, Stephanie?
As well as could be expected under the circumstances.
This is my attorney, Franklin Webb. Mr. Val, Mr. Webb.
How do you do, Mr. Val?
How do you do? Has Dr. Logan told you of my predicament, shall I say?
Very sketchily, Mr. Val. And I'm afraid influenced by his own personal feelings. Now, in telling me your story, do not overlook anything that can be used in your own defense.
Well, as I told Dr. Logan, I was brought to New York by Mr. Fitzgerald, whom I met during my espionage service in Europe. The only letter of identification which could explain my presence in this country were taken by Nick Shelton when he killed Mr. Fitzgerald.
I object, Your Honor. I object.
I don't know what you're talking about. I never saw any letter of identification. I didn't know Fitzgerald either. I got a perfectly good alibi.
But you can't alibi the fact that the bullet taken from Fitzgerald's body came from this gun. Your gun.
Well, you see, it was like this. I was out at the airport, checking over the motor. Then Nick, he comes along first.
Answer the question.
Well, I don't know where he was. I don't know nothing. Furthermore, I stand on my constitutional rights.
She came in first and had me call Mr. Fitzgerald's apartment. That was at 4:10. A couple of minutes later, Shelton came in and asked me what apartment she went to. He called her his wife, I think.
Well, now, Mr. Lawyer, yes and no. Yes or no? That's right. Answer the question. Were they enamored of each other? Was they who? Were they overly affectionate, interested? Oh, now I know what you mean. Well, I wouldn't say they act exactly like a couple of lovebirds, but... Thank you, Judge. But fella could see at one eye that Doc took a shine to her right off in the bat.
That's not true. Mr. Val told me of her own free will before I promised to help her.
But you're in love with Mr. Val, aren't you?
Yes, but that has nothing to do with it. I want to help her because I know she's innocent. She wouldn't have told me otherwise.
Your Honor, I object to the witness expressing his personal opinions.
Objection sustained. Confine your testimony to direct answers, please.
That, gentlemen, is a horrible penalty for this girl's loyalty to her duty. Unless you return a verdict of not guilty.
They are charged with the murder of Charles Fitzgerald. The evidence presented in this court has definitely proved them guilty. Gentlemen, it is your duty to return a verdict of first-degree murder.
Therefore, I charge you, members of the jury, to weigh the evidence carefully. so that there will be no miscarriage of justice.
Hi, Bill. Anything new?
Not yet. Jury's still out.
Any idea how it stands?
Deadlocked. Number 10 juror still reading testimony. Looking for the psychological attributes, so he says. All right, Sonny, scram. I said scram. Thank you.
What that fella mean, scram?
He means get out, quick in a hurry.
Who, me?
Not you. He's talking to the other fella.
Oh. How much you get for shine, Sonny?
15 cents, sir.
Well, get to work. You run it.
I'll say I will.
Don't get no black on them white spots.
Yes, sir.
What's that?
I mean, no, sir.
Extra, all about it.
You don't have to tell me. The courts have refused to grant me a new trial.
How did you know, Stephanie?
News has a strange way of reaching us in here. Even so, I'd have known by your faces.
We're not whipped yet. Frank's working on a plan to get more time, and that's exactly what we need.
Please tell me.
I'm appealing for a stay of sentence on the grounds that you're a necessary witness in the civil suit filed against Shelton by the insurance company covering the stolen bonds. If the stay is granted and Shelton is brought to trial, he might be tricked into refuting some important testimony that has a bearing on your case. It's our only chance, and a mighty slim one. But we'll hope for the best.
I'm grateful to you. I sometimes wonder why you went through so much trouble for me.
I think the good doctor can explain why. I'll wait for you outside, Scott.
You know why, don't you, Stephanie?
I know. And it gives me courage. It's the only thing that's kept me sane these last few weeks. Knowing that you're out there working for me.
And we'll keep on working, just as long as there's...
As long as there's a breath of life in me. Don't be afraid to say it, Scott. I've had so much time to think about it. The word doesn't frighten me anymore. At least there's no conscience to torment me.
You're being swell, darling. We'll be back in that old lake before many more days, won't we?
And I'm setting Oates' routine.
And we'll make life miserable for him. Goodbye, darling. I'll be back with the first bit of good news.
It is the opinion of this court that insufficient evidence has been produced to warrant an indictment of Nicholas Shelton for the theft of certain properties as charged in this suit. The court considers it an unprecedented action in view of the enormity of the crime for which he has already been convicted.
Don't look so glum-eyed. You don't have to worry about my upsetting your kitchen anymore.
I don't mind, miss. You did a right smart job of fixing up that kitchen. Guess it just needed somebody like you to sort of get it untangled.
Thank you.
Time's up, gentlemen.
Goodbye, my dear.
Goodbye.
I'm sorry. We failed you.
You did your best. I'm grateful.
Our first.
Our last. Yes, old.
But her life is entirely in your hands, Shelton. You're the only one that can do anything for her now.
You're wasting your time, gents. I told the truth in the witness chair. There's nothing more to be said.
You take her with you to the electric chair knowing she's innocent?
She's going with me.
I can't understand your attitude, Shelton. You say you love her.
That's why I'm taking her with me. They send ladies first in this joint, being courteous gentlemen. And when I see that little green door close behind her, I'll know she's out of your reach, Doc.
When the little green door closes behind her.
It's the only human thing to do.
All right, all right. I hope you gentlemen realize that all of this is entirely without precedent.
Under the circumstances, Warden, I think you're justified.
Well, I hope so. Your pass, Mr. Logan.
Thank you.
Now we must go.
All set, Warden.
Bring in Stephanie Duval.
Yes, sir.
Blessed are the poor in spirit,
Blessed are the poor in spirit,
for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Blessed are they that mourn,
Blessed are they that mourn,
for they shall be comforted.
for they shall be comforted. Come, my child.
Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth.
Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth.
Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy.
Blessed are the merciful. For they shall obtain mercy.
Blessed are the pure in heart,
Blessed are the pure in heart,
for they shall see God.
for they shall see God.
Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Get away from me. I can still walk. You still love her, Doc? Why didn't she look so pretty when the smoke curled up from her curly locks?
Before paying the supreme penalty for the murder of Charles Fitzgerald, have you any statement to make, Shelton?
Murderer, am I? Well, get this, you mugs. You're all murderers. Yes, you, Mr. Warden, and the guy that strapped her in, and the guy that pulled the switch. You're all murderers, the same as I am. She didn't have anything to do with the killing of Fitzgerald. She was working for him, like she said. I killed Fitzgerald, nobody else. I'm a murderer, sure, but so are you, the whole bunch of you, and I'll laugh that off.
Have you got that, boys?
I'll say we have one. You said it. What a story. Let me out of here.
Phone the governor and ask for a stay of execution. Tell him we've got a confession from Shelton that will exonerate Miss Duval.
Aren't you glad you broke the rules, Warden?
I'd say I am. Bring in Miss Duval.
find me. You tricked me to that confession. I'll deny it. I'll say you're lying.
Not this time, Sheldon. There are too many witnesses. Lock him up.
I'll say it's not true. You framed me. You're lying.
Steady now, darling. It's all over.
Over the jail. Take me away from here, Scott. Take me away.